All right, second part. What is the Petition of Right? The constitutional struggles of 17th century England included several important events. One of these events produced a constitutional document almost as important as the Magna Carta. The Petition of Right of 1628 pressed for money. King Charles I sought to raise funds without the consent of Parliament. He also tried to force the money from his subjects through illegal pressure. For example, he required subjects to quarter or house soldiers in their homes. In 1628, Parliament forced Charles to consent to the Petition of Right, which confirmed that taxes could only be raised with the consent of Parliament. It also guaranteed English subjects other rights, including a prohibition against requiring people to quarter soldiers in their homes. The Petition of Right thus strengthened the idea that English subjects enjoyed certain fundamental rights that no government could violate. What was the connection between the Petition of Right and the Magna Carta? One parliamentary leader in favor of the Petition of Right was the famous jurist Sir Edward Coke, who was greatly admired by the founders. Coke championed the rights of Englishmen. He believed that the Magna Carta was not only a victory for feudal privilege, but also a confirmation of the feudal rights belonging to all Englishmen, rights that had existed since time immemorial. The Petition of Right, he believed, was, like the Magna Carta, a confirmation of these ancient rights. Why is habeas corpus such an important right? Another important milestone in this constitutional struggle was Habeas Corpus Act of 1678, in which Parliament gained from English monarchs the right of their subjects to a legal document called a writ of habeas corpus. That Latin phrase, habeas corpus, means to have the body. A writ of habeas corpus orders the government to deliver a person it has arrested to a court of law and explain why that person has been arrested and held. If the government cannot produce evidence to show that the arrested person may have broken the law, the person must be set free. The English subject's right to a writ of habeas corpus may have existed in English law even before the Magna Carta. Its guarantee was also one of the provisions of the Petition of Right. English monarchs, however, had for centuries ignored that guarantee by using an unlawful arrest and prolonged imprisonment without trial as weapons against their subjects. Critical thinking exercise. Once again, this is something that you're going to use to understand the information that I've already given you. So you're going to kind of just lock that in your brain, go over it, and see, oh, can I go back and check this? Do I understand this? Do I understand that? It's a way for you to verify that you do understand what I'm talking about. So we're going to switch on over. What led to the English Bill of Rights of 1689? The struggle between the monarch and Parliament came to a head in a bloodless revolution known as the Glorious Revolution of 1688. King James II was overthrown and forced to flee the country. The king's son-in-law, Prince William of Orange, and his followers had suspected James II of lying to make Roman Catholicism the established religion in England and of resorting to various illegal acts to accomplish this. In the revolution settlement that followed the Glorious Revolution, Prince William, his wife Mary, succeeded to the throne. A condition of their succession, however, was that they agreed to a Declaration of Rights. The Declaration was then enacted into law by Parliament as the English Bill of Rights. It became the cornerstone of the Revolution settlement and of England's Constitution. What protection did the Bill of Rights include? The English Bill of Rights was a practical and specific document rather than a statement of general constitutional principles. Its primary objective was to make sure that what James II had tried to do would never happen again. It limited the power of the monarch by placing the dominant power of government in Parliament and providing for the security of the Church of England against any attempts at counter-revolution by James or his descendants on behalf of the Roman Catholicism. The English Bill of Rights includes many ideas about rights and government that were later included to our Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and Bill of Rights. In addition to limiting the monarch's power to act without the consent of Parliament, it provides for which such traditional rights of Englishmen as trial by jury, prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment, the right to petition the government, the right to bear arms per personal defense, a right, however, granted only to Protestants. The English Bill of Rights does not provide for freedom of religion, nor does it guarantee freedom of the press or freedom of speech outside Parliament. An act of toleration, however, passed shortly after the Glorious Revolution, gave freedom of worship to Protestant dissenters. Though not included in the act, Roman Catholics were thereafter generally left alone to practice their faith. The government also expanded freedom of the press by repealing the act that followed that allowed censorship of printed material. How does the English Bill of Rights differ from the U.S. Bill of Rights? I'll tell you in just a minute. So we're going to have to extend this to another video. So you'll have actually 3 videos.